So as we've been saying, today is National Get Smart About Your Credit Day. It really should be every day. Tim Veralt, the interim CEO of Evergreen Credit Union, is here to talk about some ways to improve your credit. And this is kind of credit improvement 101, is it not, Tim? Things that we all should be doing. And you say, first of all, get that copy of your credit report so you know where you stand, right?
Absolutely. It's important to know what credit is and how it affects you. In fact, a lot of people don't realize that credit actually can affect you when you're applying for credit, when you're applying for insurance, and when you're applying for employment. All those three variables are affected by your credit score if it's derogatory. So you want to actually face it and fix it. So you want to get a copy of your credit report. You can do that with annualcreditreport.com, not to be confused with freecreditreport.com, but annualcreditreport.com is a copy of your credit report from the three agencies, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. You want to look through that carefully to see if there is some derogatory credit or erroneous credit that's incorrect. If there is, you want to work with the credit agency and you want to work with the creditor to make sure we get that corrected. And there's actually information online that helps you go through that process.
And annualcreditreport.com is actually the free credit report
That is the
once
free
a year,
one.
right?
By federal law, you can get a copy of your credit report from those three agencies once a year.
Okay. Pay off your debts. That seems kind of like a no-brainer.
It is, and there's several things you want to pay attention to. You want to get the past due balances paid up current. Credit agencies love when you pay your balances consistently for 6 months. When that happens, your credit score can take a nice bump up. You also don't want to apply for new credit during the period where you're trying to improve your credit, because that could hurt your cause. And you also don't want to close your lines, if possible, during your period of trying to repay your credit, because when you close your limits, it actually reduces, it's a number that affects you on the overall scoring of your credit score. So you want to stay away from doing that.
Is that because they look at how much credit is available to you in proportion to how much you're actually using? And so if you have less available to you, it narrows
correct.
that gap? Okay.
Yep.
All right. And you say be patient. That's probably one of the toughest ones.
Yeah, you got to be vigilant and patient. It takes time. You didn't get into that trouble overnight, and you're not going to repair that overnight. It takes time. So you want to work with, in severe cases, you want to work with professionals. For example, CCCS, Consumer Credit Counseling Services. Go online, find out a little bit about them. They can work with you to develop a plan to repair that credit. Also, I tell people to get in front of the credit issues. Work with your institution, work with your creditor up front. When you know this problem's on the horizon, contact them. They want to help you as well. As much as you want to get your credit repaired, they want to help you do that as well. So do that on the front end as much as possible. Maine Credit Unions spend thousands of hours, Sharon, every year working with high school seniors. And we do financial fitness fairs across the state. And we talk about a number of financial matters. Credit is probably the biggest one of all the things we talk about. We want them to understand early off how that impacts them, and get on the front of that, and don't let that follow you for the rest of your life.
Better to stay out of trouble than to get into it and have to climb your way out, for sure.
That's a good plan.
All right. Thanks, Tim, very much.
Thank
Good
you.
advice.